Tunasema kwamba ni lazima Rais William Ruto awache kutumia Johnson Sakaja kwa kumpatia pesa, alipe vijana wakuje waue vijana wenzao. Tungependa kuambia Sakaja, juzi tumeona ukipatia bibi ya marehemu Ojwang kazi. Lakini kwa nini umpatie kazi na tena uchukue pesa kuua kijana mwingine? So hiyo ndio mambo tunasema Sakaja ni lazima ashikwe kabla jioni, na tunataka tumwambie kwamba tarehe 25 bado vijana wa nchi hii wametangaza watakuwa pale Nairobi CBD. Kama unaona wewe ni gavana na unaweza leta tena watu wakuja wasimamishe Kenyans, jaribu, kwa sababu tarehe 25 sasa haitakuwa vijana peke yake. Tunaenda kuleta hata wamama, hata wabunge, hata wazee, kila mtu tutamtoa tumlete pale Nairobi CBD. We must exercise our constitutional right. Na maandamano haya si ya chama, si ya kisiasa. Hii ni maandamano ya vijana na ni anniversary yao. Party leader alionya kwamba kuna mpango ya kuumiza vijana wetu, na akakaution kwamba wale watu ambao wanapanga kuumiza vijana wetu kama wakina Sakaja kwamba wako katika rada yetu. We are supporting the young people and the liberation journey that has been started by the young people of this country. Mambo ingine hiyo ya international ni kwamba sisi kama chama hatuna msimamo kwa sasa hivi, but the international community, the whole world is watching, and I'm sure they are responsible enough. Najua inakaa vibaya sana kwamba sasa hivi kahawa yetu imefungiwa Mombasa na majani chai haiwezi enda kule Sudan. We cannot export tea and coffee to Sudan, yet we are exporting firearms to Sudan. Sasa Kenya imefika mahali tunapeleka bunduki kule, lakini kahawa na majani chai yetu haiwezi enda kule. So the international community is watching, of course, and at the opportune time they'll be able to act accordingly.
I want to join colleagues and friends in condemning what happened yesterday in Nairobi and call out Governor Sakaja. It is the governor of Nairobi, Sakaja, who organized what happened. And under the Rome Statute, we want to be very clear that Sakaja is a candidate for presentation to the ICC court for facilitating, for organizing, and publicly saying that he will not, as an individual, allow demonstrators in Nairobi to demonstrate. Sakaja is actually going the Haiti way and being facilitated by the government of Kenya to do what he's doing. Of course, everybody knows Sakaja is not a graduate, and that's why probably he's leading Nairobi the way he's doing. He's uneducated, he's a mere Form 4 leaver who never completed his education at Nairobi University. Lastly, nataka kumweleza Sakaja, unaweza kuwa uko na umaarufu wa kuwa governor Nairobi, lakini tunajua governor hujasoma. Wacha kufanya mambo na njia ambayo unafanya, ingawa tunajua sio kupenda kwako, ni kwa sababu hujasoma vizuri. Mtu ako na degree ya kutoka Uganda ambaye yeye mwenyewe anajua hata kukanyaga kwa darasa yote pale Uganda. You are student at Nairobi University. Ni kumaliza huku, kumaliza shule. Na uache kuambia watu hujasoma. Wewe Sakaja ndio hujasoma, sio watu wengine ndio hawajasoma. Nikimalizia, tunajua Sakaja unasaidiwa na askari. We want to call out the IG, Inspector General of Police. It is your business to protect life and property. Na vile mambo yanaendelea Nairobi, inafaa IG achukue hatua kwa Sakaja, na hatua ni kumkamata Governor Sakaja ambaye amesema yeye hata ruhusu waandamanaji kuingia ndani ya Nairobi. Na nikimalizia, ni vizuri tuseme wale ambaye mabiashara zao zimeibiwa, wale ambaye wameumizwa Nairobi, kama wewe ni mwanabiashara, usilipe kodi Nairobi. Nairobi haiwezi kukufanyia dhulma na wewe uendelee kulipa kodi ya Nairobi. They should boycott. It is allowed, it is constitutional. They should even picket, because Sakaja is leading the county the way it should not be.
Dear Mama, I want to ask Sakaja to be arrested. The IG has an option but to arrest Sakaja. It seems that this government have no intention to aid extrajudicial killings. How can they go for the children or the youths who are going to the street to mourn one of their own? It's right in the Constitution, it's their right. They were orderly, the demonstration were not violent, they have done this before and they were doing the same yesterday. So killing of this young hawker, which at the moment we are not even aware if he's dead or he's alive, and we are thinking the government is just trying to manage the situation. It's the most unfortunate thing. Governor Sakaja should resign, he should be arrested, and the government should call the day as it think it should be, because I think this government just want to kill the youths of this country.
I am here to condemn with the strongest terms the action of Governor of Nairobi yesterday, where he organized, paid, mobilized militia to come and attack peaceful demonstrators who are exercising their rights under the Constitution. It's a shame, as this country, on one hand, we are sending police to Haiti to go and deal with the militia, and on the other hand, is the same country where we are growing and grooming militia. What a shame. Yesterday, from the estimates made, the city lost over 3 billion shillings in terms of business. And she lost because the demonstrations were peaceful, but gangs were brought in to come in and unleash terror, cause mayhem, injure and kill those peaceful demonstrators. On the other hand, the same governor, I'm seeing him in the papers all the time, writing demands for people to pay the rates and run rent. Now, how can Governor Sakaja kill the goose which lays the golden egg? How does he expect Nairobians will be able to raise money to be able to pay those rates and run rent, whereas instead of supporting and promoting businesses and protecting businesses, he's unleashing militia? Nairobi city has become a shame. It used to be a city in the sun. Today is a city in the filth. It's a city which roads have potholes. You can't see any order on even on the highways. It's just so no flowers, no nothing. There are no services. Garbage is never collected. There is insecurity, and yet the governor who Nairobi elected has the audacity of abandoning the job he has been given by Kenyans, but bringing militia. I urge, number one, for Sakaja to be arrested forthwith, and number two, to resign, and number three, which is most importantly, this government of Kenya Kwanza need to take charge of this country, because if the event, the way things are proceeding, because demonstration will continue, this country is heading a Haiti way. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, media, for joining us here today. My name is Wanjiko Vega. I'm the National Youth Leader, DCP Party. The Democracy for Citizens Party Youth League strongly condemns the rising wave of the police brutality and state-sponsored violence against peaceful and armed young Kenyans. The call for justice over the murder of Albert Ojwang has been met with bullets and rungus. A young man by the name Dan Derito from Nakuru was shot dead last week. An innocent entrepreneur by the name Boniface Mwangi is currently in ICU at Kenyatta National Hospital after being shot at close range by the police and one Philip Okech on his neck. Acts of attempted murder that must not go unpunished. Article 33 of the Constitution of Kenya guarantees the freedom of expression, while Article 37 affirms the right of every person to assemble, demonstrate, and picket peacefully. The events witnessed in Nairobi over the last week are a direct assault on the rights, and those responsible must face full force of the law. We place direct responsibility on Mr. Johnson Sakaja, the Nairobi governor, a leader who has now weaponized his office against young Kenyans. Sakaja is on public record saying he will protect the city by any means possible. He therefore went ahead and unleashed hired goons and thugs who have filmed brutalizing peaceful protesters under the police protection. These same goons later celebrated their violence praising Sakaja for their success as they took a lap of honor around the City Hall. Mr. Johnson Sakaja, Governor Nairobi, must be arrested immediately and investigated for 1. Criminal collusion with armed gangs. 2. Sanctioning attacks on peaceful citizens. And 3. Being directly liable for the destruction of property and businesses in Nairobi during the recent protest. This is no longer a political issue. It is a criminal offense. As a youth league, we demand the immediate arrest and prosecution of Governor Sakaja, and public independent investigation into his role in organizing and protecting violent gangs. Full compensation for business owners affected by the destruction under his watch, and arrest and prosecution of all goons and officers involved in the violence. We remind the President, you cannot wash your hands of this. Nairobi is bleeding under your silence. This movement will not die, we will not forget, and we will not be silenced. Thank you.
Kiprotich, I'm the Secretary for Youth Affairs, the Grand Old Vatican. And I want to as well express my profound disappointment with the current regime. The cold-blooded shooting of an unarmed mask vendor at close range by a police officer during protests in the CBD is tragic and a shocking abuse of power by the police. Equally alarming is the infiltrating of peaceful protests by a ragtag militia, wielding batons and robbing pedestrians and bystanders in broad daylight. This is lawlessness being entrenched under the watch of law enforcement. The role of the police is to protect citizens, including protesters exercising their constitutional rights, and not to stand by as marauding goons unleash terror on innocent people. While we condemn these actions, that police officer must be identified, arrested, and charged. And we move ahead to call upon all opposition political parties, youth leagues, to join in and form a united force comprised of the youth to continue championing for the youth agendas in the political space and even within political parties. Thank you.